Okay, I don't know if this is the format I'm going to keep this as, because I do want to do regular check-ins of how I'm doing and like where our money is going, because it's good for me to reflect on this, not only for myself, but to share and maybe see what you guys think. What are you guys paying? What do you guys do about these kind of things? And I don't know, I just want to be really open about it. So I want to get into it. Where did our money go? When I categorized my spending, $91.28 went to Amazon alone. And I'm like, what did we buy from Amazon? Ryan needed a battery clamp for his battery for his car, because when he got the Mustang back, the Mustang battery was toast. He used his own personal money for that, but he did go over by $15, which came out of the account. We'll talk about that in a bit. Excuse me, ladies, I'm videoing. I have two dogs. If you're new here, I have two dogs, and my little one's Henri, and always picking on the older one. Anyways, hold on. That's right, my Rosie angel baby. Okay, so $91.28 went to Amazon. We might be a hot mess today. I'm so sorry. This is how we roll. But $9.10 went to a battery clamp. We have our dog treats on a what's a reoccurring order, like a subscribe and save. So we spent $24.66 on that. I just realized though that on the top of our fridge, we have a whole bunch of treats for the dogs. And that's because I signed up for BarkBox, and like in their first box, I got extra treats. So there's all sorts of stuff. And then when we got our new puppy, I bought all sorts of stuff. So I'm thinking maybe we can pause that subscription until we work through what we have. We'll talk to the husband about that today. My husband got his fish oil pills coming for $31.45, and then I have some Euro pills, which is like a healthy feminine probiotic for $26.07. So that alone was Amazon, just automatically took out of our account. I took $180, and the reason is because Ryan and I are giving ourselves an allowance of $100 a week. And I only let myself take out 80. Technically I get 86, but I did that because I have a sticker subscription called Pip Sticks, and that is 14. So I am immediately taking that out of my first payment. So 180 is cash on me still. I haven't spent $1, and I'm really proud of that. My husband, like I said, had to spend an extra $15 outside of his pop can return money. So that came out of the account. And then for groceries, one second here, I need to put that in order. So our groceries, I wrote down that we paid $229. My goal was $200. I had a feeling I wasn't quite gonna make it. I was crunching it too much, but I'm still really, really proud of $229. So of that money, $12.59 was for a beer purchase for Ryan. I let him use our grocery funds for 1 6-pack of beer. And then we spent at Safeway a total of $184.70, and that covered several dinners. If you guys watched my last vlog, you'll hear me talk about that. And it covered $30 dinner to McDonald's because my husband and I really wanted to try the Big Arc. Would 100% recommend it. If you haven't tried it, it's a big burger and it's got great flavor. And then I also got my youngest a special donut on Friday, or it would have been Thursday, for having perfect attendance. He brought home a certificate, and so he's like, "Can I get a donut?" And I was like, "It's $1.50. Let's go." And then Ryan, his money has spent $20.19, and then another $22.45. Just on personal things he wanted. The car. So my car, I've got a car payment. Lucky me. My car payment is just over $714 a month. Sometimes, and I mean a lot of times, I regret picking such a bougie car. I wish that my car payment was in the 400s. So every time I see that 700 plus bill, it hurts me in the heart. But it is what it is, and it's a vehicle I will have for a long time if it's a lot of people. So if any family members need a ride, I got them, you know? And it's got a lot of fun buttons and lights and things. So why did I do that? I don't know, but that's the car payment I have. We paid for the Mustang. The total came to $1,949.26. Most of that we pulled from our savings. But there was a unanticipated card fee. So I had already moved the money over from savings to pay for the car. The unanticipated card fee for paying with a card was $56.77. So that did come out of our checking. I was like, I'm not going to move any more money out of my savings. So we paid a lot, and there was quite a few things fixed. If I knew the terminology, I would tell you guys. But it started with a belt, and it ended up being like 3 other parts that needed to be replaced and labor for that. So it was pretty intense, and he is now driving the Mustang and happy again. So fingers and toes crossed. We don't hear anything about that stinking car for at least 6 months. That's my wish. Credit card payments. So we had 3 different credit cards. We have 3 different credit cards. One of them has a minimum payment of $270. Another one has a minimum payment of $120, and the other one has a minimum payment of $284. So $674 of our money just basically went to credit card interest, and a very small amount of what we borrowed. And that's another painful thing for me. Like, the fact that we got ourselves in this boat. Our total credit card debt, thousands of dollars. I think we're around 10. It might be more than that actually. It sucks. And I really, really do hope this year we do the snowball effect where we start just taking out the smallest one and working our way up. And I'll share that with you guys when we get to that step. It's just one thing at a time. And right now I really need to focus on our taxes. Our taxes with the tax fee of filing it online is over $4,800. And right now, where we're at with accounts to be even close to that is I have saved up just over $2,000. So our goal is to have enough of that $4,800 by the beginning of April. So that's why I'm really crunching numbers and holding tight and saying no to some things or saying let's do less, because I want to make sure we get our taxes paid. I do not want to break it up in payments, and then I want to be better prepared next year, because this year I really feel like the rug got pulled out from underneath us and we just were not prepared. And especially with the Mustang having its issues. We'll talk about some tires in a minute. It was just too much. During this budget series, I found out we had a subscription that Ryan thought he had canceled. My kids watch different anime and like older cartoons, and there's a subscription, I think it's called Crunchyroll, for $7.99. And I asked Ryan about it. He's like, I thought I canceled that. Nope, we've been paying $7.99 every month for a long time. So he did get that canceled. He sent me proof of that. So that will be something out of our miscellaneous budget. I have a $600 budget for the entire month for miscellaneous charges, just so I can kind of watch what's coming in, learn. We know things are going to come up, right? Like medical bills, I don't know, anniversary or a birthday or just something, right? So miscellaneous costs come, we'll be prepared. And it's also kind of being treated as like my overflow. So if I'm going over budgets on things, I'm kind of thinking of it like, okay, there's that buffer in there of this miscellaneous money. So we'll see. Daycare, we pay $425 a month for us to drop our child off at school and have the adults there watch him until school starts. Since I work and Ryan works, we both are out of here by like 7:30 at the latest, and school doesn't start until like 8:30, 9:30. So we need somebody to watch him for that hour or 2 hours before school starts, and that costs us $425. Also, when school gets out, we need somebody to watch him for another 45 minutes. So It's pretty expensive for what it is because he just sits around on his book, but we're too far for him to walk quite yet. We're gonna start looking into it next year, and this may be a bill that goes away by the end of the next school year, because I think he'll be at that age that I feel okay with him walking. But we are a few blocks away and we're on a busy road, so I just want to follow my mama heart on that. So we pay $425 a month and it stinks. This summer he's staying home, which is exciting because last summer we paid for a summer program and it was over $3,000 that we spent to keep that kid happy, and he was barely happy. Like, he liked some of the activity weeks, but not many of them, and he was just overwhelmed and he wanted to stay home with his brother. So we're going to save over $3,000 this summer, and I'm really excited about it. And seeing how much childcare costs impact our taxes, it's not worth it. It's not worth it at all. So there's that. So far in the last week, we've only put gas in one vehicle, and that was my husband's truck. He put $58.31. So I don't know how close he was to empty when he did that. My car right now is about half of a tank. So I'll probably put gas in my car at the beginning of next week. I might even do it this weekend just to fill it because it's the weekend. But yeah, we've only spent, I put a $600 budget because I didn't know we have multiple vehicles here, but yeah, we only spent $58.31. Our house payment, we have a 70s ranch house we bought in 2009 and we refinanced in I want to say 2013. So our house payment is $1,626 and change. And it went up a little bit from last year, which I'll talk about that, but it's not a bad house payment. I know a lot of people, plenty of people who are paying more for their house right now, or are even renting apartments and paying more than that. And that blows my mind. So we are settled. That's the one thing that has prevented us from moving, is because we know we're going to pay triple. And that's intense and crazy. So here we stay. Car insurance. So we have, truck, my car, Honda, and Mustang. 4 cars, because my husband's insane and has 3. Yes, he does. But one of them is eventually going to be our teenagers, and he has a motorcycle. So 5 vehicles insured for him and I to drive is $236.17. We don't have speeding tickets, and the accidents that we've had have been a long time ago. When I say we, me, have been a long time ago. So I don't think that insurance is bad. We have enough insurance, if something happened, we're fully going to cover the next person, and we'll have some deductibles for ourselves. But yeah, $236.17 is what we pay every month for our vehicles. Our internet isn't the best internet, but it'll do. My husband is constantly wanting to force us into a more expensive or other plans, and I just haven't listened yet. But anyways, we use a local internet service, and it's $87 a month. So I'm kind of annoyed with it, only because when we joined them, they said we were that the rates would never change, and it was $66 or $67. They would never change. That was their whole sell. They changed, and then when we called them about it, they were like, yeah, we needed to change them. It was really weird. And I'm like, that's not what you guys sold me. Anyways, I digress. We pay $87 for internet, which I don't think is bad. Out of our miscellaneous funds, there was a small balance on a personal Marshall's TJ Maxx type of card I had left that I wanted to pay off. So it's had $13.98 on it. That card's back to zero. I will gravitate to use that card for things like if my kids need clothes, or if I need to get some cards, birthday cards for work. The reason is because the cashback program is so nice. So I gravitate to that, and I'll pay it off next month. And there was a bill of $13.98. I think I had a gift card, and that was the overage, and I just put it on the card. Anyways, that's back to nothing. Our electric bill for this last month was $382.81. I've seen it higher in the holiday time when there is, Christmas lights and all of that. We've paid over $500, and that's been brutal. We've definitely changed the way we do things, and these bills have looked a little bit better over time, but we paid $382.81. And then for water bill was $91.81, which I don't think is bad. We take a lot of showers in this house. There's 4 of us, occasional baths, and I do a lot of laundry. We run the dishwasher sometimes several times a day, so I don't think $91.81 is bad. We have a YouTube subscription of $22.99. Highly recommend that if you guys don't have that, and it hasn't changed for years, so it's a great cost. And then I have a gym membership that costs $50 a month, so that is the final bill. That's where all of our money went in just a few days, but it is a very high, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a very high bill pay point in our system. We pay most of the bills at the end of the prior month, the beginning of the next, just to get them out of the way. And then we let my husband's paychecks just kind of carry us through the rest of the month. So next check-in, I'm anticipating to have a lot less transactions to cover. That's my goal. Something interesting that I wanted to do was I pulled data from my bank account. For some reason, I can't catch my breath lately. Are you guys having issues breathing too? And I don't know if it's like air quality, if it's my personal health, if it's post like being sick, but I'm just like, anyways, so silly. I wanted to look at last year, what I spent between March 1st to March 6th, and compare it to this year. So last year, when I wasn't budgeting, eating out alone, we paid $140.52. And this week we paid $30. So that's $110 difference, essentially, and I feel great about that. Groceries, huge one. So I went through and I pulled out all of the grocery spots like Fred Meyer's, Walmart, Ross. This really hones in on my shopping addiction that I've told you guys about. I was like in the grocery stores every day. I spent $435.12. As you guys heard, this time I spent $229. It's a difference of $206. So I saved $206 in my brain by not frequenting the stores. Amazon. I looked at Amazon purchases alone. We spent $91.28 this week. On record at Amazon last time was $268.42. I dug a little bit to see what did we buy, like what were we getting at that time, and that was around the time I was redoing my back bathroom. So I had bought a shower caddy, I bought some bath rugs, we bought a new Ethernet switch. Looks like something my husband needed for all the video games and stuff. He spent $57 on that. For my bathroom, I spent over $92. My husband had a reoccurring subscription of tea. He still gets that tea, actually. We just haven't been charged for it yet. But he had that delivered, and that was another $48.93. And then I bought a sticker for $3.50. You don't know I love stickers, and we're gonna have a separate video thing about that later. But anyways, yeah, a lot of money went to Amazon. I spent $177.14 less. Of course, I'm not redoing a room right now. There's gonna be expenses like that, but I'm gonna be more thoughtful and prepare for those instead of just buy willy-nilly. Credit cards. So this was interesting because this month we paid $674 towards credit card debt alone. This time when I was looking through, it said that we had paid $1,402 in debt, but when I looked into it deeper, it's because we paid off one of our credit cards. That was like a big payoff time. We paid over $800 to a single credit card to get rid of it. It was a bold move. We were bold people. It was probably because I had some extra money from a bonus or something, and I'm like, let's just get rid of it. So huge difference. When I took away that more, we actually have $94 more in credit card like debt payments that we're paying right now versus then. And that makes sense to me because things have been added to credit cards over that last year. We did a little bit at Christmas time, and I can't remember why. There was like something Ryan wanted or something. He had to put it on a card. But it makes sense because over the time last year, we weren't really pulling back on using cards too much. And so we were still using them. And with balances going up, your payments go up. So yeah. Car insurance actually increased from last year, which sucks because we're great drivers, but we used to pay $224 and we pay $236 now, so we're paying $12 more. Daycare went up, same service, same everything, but they went up by $15 on us. We used to pay $410 and now we pay $425. On myself alone in that first week, I spent almost $18 in fast food. I went to Taco Bell, I went to Dutch Brothers, I went to Jack in the Box, and that's all like things I'm trying to get out of my daily like work life, especially. I want to get out of the office and I go get food. So I saved $18. Internet used to be last year $80 because it was slowly creeping up. So we pay $7 more for that. Our mortgage went up this year because we needed more money in escrow. Taxes have increased in our area, but not too much. So our mortgage, we used to pay $16.17 and now we're paying the $16.26. So $9 more. Ryan spent a little bit more on himself this week than he did that first week. It looks like he spent $39 on him in 2025 and he spent $43, but I'm sure he's buying the same things he was getting then. He's just paying more. YouTube, same $23. Our PG&E bill did go up, and I do remember last year them sending a letter to all of the residents saying that their fees were going to increase, and it had to do with basically supply and demand of our area. So for our PG&E is our energy bill, we paid $349 last year and we paid $382 this year. So we paid over $33 more for the same amount of electricity, which is crazy. New this year also was my gym membership. I didn't have that last year. Maybe I did. I didn't look it up, but it still would have been $50 if there's been no change to that fee. And then our water bill actually got better. And if I can recall, I feel like something was running or leaking. I don't remember if it was a toilet that was constantly running or a hose that was leaking, but there was something inefficient about our house. Last year in March, we paid $163 for our water bill and we paid $91. That's a big difference. That's over $71 saved. And my teenager is taking showers all the time. Raise your hand if you have a teenager in your house taking over your life. So anyways, that's some information, some budgeting information that was just really interesting to sit and look over. For this next week, my goal with groceries again is $200. I'm probably going to go over it, but I'm going to use this data all month to figure out what my actual true like budgeting goal should be. It's just fun to like see how close I can get to 200. But my goal is 200 for that. And then my husband and I are going to celebrate our anniversary. We've been together for 23 years, you guys. I'm old. But we're going to go to some food trucks today and both get something that looks really good to us and then share splitsies. There's a food truck place called The Yard here, and they've got several food trucks open. And all sorts of stuff, Thai food, mac and cheese, barbecue, sushi, you name it, it's there. Different kinds of seafood, like a health truck. I think it's called like the lunch box or something. I don't know. All sorts of stuff going on. I can't wait to go. And then him and I are going to go get pedicures together. So I told him I really want to stay around 200 for our anniversary celebrations. I don't want to go crazy because I'm kind of pulling that out of that miscellaneous bucket. So if I recall, I believe our pedicures together are going to be around 120, around there. And then eating out at some food trucks for the two of us is probably going to be around, I don't know, 60. So I think we'll be okay. But that's kind of our added cost item. I may end up spending a little bit of my personal allowance on Sunday. I have a friend that I want to go thrift jumping with, where we're just gonna, I guess, go to different thrift stores around Salem area, and I'll use my cash for that if I find anything I love for myself or anybody that I want to buy things for. And that's it. That's my big plan, and just putting gas in my car and getting through it all. So let me know down below what you guys thought of this chatty video. I feel like I don't know if it's helpful or if it's interesting. Sometimes people like to sit and listen to these things and kind of take notes or compare or share their thoughts, or again, what they're doing, or if they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're paying that. I want to hear it all. So let me know what you guys think, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.